Hello and welcome to Refill with Preach Sista. We're having some audio problems today, so hang in there with us while we get this figured out. But thank you for joining us and welcome. I'm your host, Michelle Lloyd Page, and twice a month I invite someone in studio to join me for conversation about well-being, wellness, and replenishing. Our conversation about 20 to 30 minutes. And each show is a little bit different. Each one will focus on the importance of wellness and being. And you know what? I'm going to real quick. There we go. I tried switching the mic. That obviously didn't work. So Helen, could you just introduce yourself?
I don't know. I'm afraid. In reality, though, I am Helen Saleem-El, and I currently am the pastor at Covenant of Faith Church here in Louisville, Kentucky. Formerly, I was insurance at Aegon Insurance Company for 35 years, and I retired from there. I'm married. I have two children. I have, I believe, 13 grandchildren and 16 great grandchildren. And
Wait. Say that one more time. How many children do you have?
two,
And how many grandchildren do you have?
13,
And how many great grandchildren do you have?
16, and one on the way.
Woman of God, you looking good. That's all I can say.
I didn't do that. My sons did. I only had two of them. They did all that. They did all that extra work. Yeah.
Woo! Okay, I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry I interrupted. So,
Well, it wasn't
yes.
that many the last time that I actually was in your presence. It was counting on up from there. But yeah.
Okay. Woo! Yeah, we're gonna have to have you back just to talk about grandmamahood. That's
Nah.
oh gosh. Wow. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. It was just those numbers were so surprising to me because well, and part of the reason those numbers were so surprising because you really don't talk a lot about yourself. You don't say here know all about me. So you don't really talk a lot about yourself. We've had some fun conversations about ministry. I've heard you preach, at the Preach Sista conference. You've done a phenomenal job. I've seen some of your messages online. You do a phenomenal job. But, now that I think about it, in all those times, you've really not talked about kids, grandkids, and all of that.
There's too
So I guess
many
it
of
is
them.
true. Yeah, you really are a private person. So thank you,
Yes.
thank you for being on the show. Because yeah, wow, yeah, because this is talking a little bit more about yourself. So thank you. I appreciate this so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, tell us what do you have a day job?
No. No. Pastoring is enough. And I admire people who have a 9 to 5 and also
Hmm.
pastor a church,
Okay.
especially if it's a female. I admire them. I would not want to be in their shoes, but I do admire them because it's a lot of
Okay.
work.
It's a lot of work. So how long have you been pastoring?
For 5 years.
For 5 years. That's a
Mhm.
that's a phenomenal time. And how did you know that you were being called to pastor?
I when I was around my pastor, my former pastor, who is now a bishop in Florida, I felt like, as I'm watching him, it's like I felt like I could be a pastor. I never wanted to be a pastor, but I felt like I could be a pastor from being around him. And then when he began to talk to me about becoming the pastor, he was going to move on. I still thought, well, I'm not going to tell him, yeah, I kind of feel like I should be a pastor, but I didn't say anything like that. After he finally said, I'm really going to be going, and he began to allow me to do some things by myself, it was like I was kind of like Moses. It's kind of like, let me give you, God, let me give you my resume. Let me tell you what I cannot do, because apparently you don't realize that. But it was very scary to actually go ahead and say yes and accept it, because I'm kind of like, well, I'm a preacher, so let's just leave it at that, not go any farther. So yeah, yeah,
Wow. So it was actually just listening to what God was saying and feeling that internal draw and pull,
yes,
um, and deciding not to box it out with God. So if
yeah.
God says go this way, God is saying go left, it's always wise to go left as opposed to trying to go
This is
right.
true. This is true. Yeah.
So as you look at, so many things that you do have occupying your time, because pastoring is a full-time job in and of itself,
Yes.
and then with your other connections and relationships, what inspires you, or what helps you to feel like your best self?
To be truthful about it, is if I get three things done on my to-do list. I'm a plan person.
Okay.
And of course what I plan is according what God wants me to do, because I he's always in the plan. But I actually have something I got from Hobby Lobby that Monday through Friday through Sunday, you write down whatever you're going to do.
Okay.
And what I started doing at first was to write this long list of each day I wanted to accomplish, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, you need to have three things that you can accomplish in a day. And I don't want to be in the evening going to bed at night and saying, what did I accomplish today? I like to be able to say, I did do something today. And they're not always big things. Sometimes it's just a small, sometimes it's like, get the laundry done, something
Okay.
small, it's not anything big, it's not anything real spiritual, I'm gonna pray for 5 hours, it's not anything like that. It's just, let me at least be able to get three things done. And then when I look at my little paper, I'm like, you did do something today. Now there are times when I may not have gotten all three done, so I say, okay, you did do two things. I may not get two of them done. Okay, you did do one thing, but I need to feel like I have done something today. Or even if it's just like, if I'm in the grocery store and I let someone go ahead of me, I did something today. That inspires me to be able to just do something in the day. Another
Oh,
thing that inspires me is the young people that I know that are doing so much, like writing books, and they're got their own business and things of that nature. That inspires me because I see that they're doing something. I'm thankful to God that they're doing something rather
mm-hmm.
than not doing anything.
So as you're writing down, are you starting out each day with three things, or are you starting each week saying, okay, here are the three things over the course of the week, each day that I want to do?
I start on Sunday night, and I have my calendar, and it indicates to me that there's some things you need to take care of during the week. So I look at my calendar, and I'll put on my little note. These are the things that I want to get done on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and so forth. That's what I used
Okay.
to do on Sunday.
Oh, that is really helpful. And I just saw someone had put in the chat that yeah, this is really helpful in thinking about. It doesn't have to be a list of 20 things that
Yeah.
we have, but just even starting, like you said, Sunday evening at the beginning of the week or whatever time is a good time for you to sit and just think, what are the things this week that I want to get done? And I also appreciate you saying that don't be hard on yourself. If you said, on Monday, I'm going to get the laundry done, I'm going to arrange the shoes in my closet,
Yeah.
I'm going to eat more veggies, I'm going to eat a salad, I'm going to eat a salad. If you don't get the shoes organized, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're not a horrible person because life can happen, right? Because on
Yes.
Sunday evening we can be planning that these are the household chores that I'm going to get done during the week. I'm going to go shopping on Wednesday, right, to do groceries for the next few days. But we don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday morning or Tuesday night. We
Yes.
could get that phone call from someone that says, "Hey, I really need to talk to you," and we end up spending that time that we would have been grocery shopping, talking with someone, just to encourage them. Um,
Yes.
and then, if I'm hearing you correctly, then perhaps at the end of that hypothetical Wednesday, you would say, "Well, I didn't get this done, but you know what? I did do this." I
Hmm.
and can write that down that this is something that I did do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is. So, do you purchase a new journal for yourself at the beginning of each year or each month to keep track of these? Or is it a series of post-it notes that you have?
Okay. Okay.
Both
I'm
work. I just want to
guilty.
know what's working for you.
No, I did start off with the post-it notes. They were all on the computer, right? All
Yeah.
on everywhere, my desk everywhere, and it was getting confusing for real, And so I did get an actual journal. In fact, one of my nieces gave me a journal, and so now here's the thing with that: I had planned to write in the journal my thoughts every day,
Yeah.
and I started off really good. And good intentions start off really good. However, I did not do that. I began to not do that on a daily basis. It began to be every other day, then it went to every other week. So I said, well, wait a minute. This is not working for me. Is it me or is it the journal? Which one is it? But I began to just kind of lighten up a little bit. And okay, let me put on this note card that I have. Let me put that on there, and then I could put in the journal that I did accomplish something rather than trying to put it in there all the time. So it was getting very confusing. So on my note card that I have, like I said, it's for Monday through Sunday, and I can check off that I did something, and then I'll put in the journal. Yes, I did accomplish this today, and this is the reason. This is how I feel about what I did. You know. So
Oh, that is so. I think you have just helped a whole lot of people. Because for me, I have jokingly told some of my kids, don't buy me another journal because I have so many journals that I have
yeah,
started. I'm good for a week. I'm all
yeah,
inspired, and it's like, because like you said, I start off okay. Every day I'm writing something. It's like, every other day. Then it's like, oh, when was the last time I wrote on
yeah,
that? But to say, yeah, no, this is I'm going to have something more handy for me, like the note cards at the beginning of the week or the index cards at the end of the week, and then daily, just with the post-it notes. You're helping me think about a new maybe product for Preach Sister. So we're gonna have the dedication to you.
oh no,
It's like I got a whole new system now how to put this together. So this is good. But I thank you so much for sharing that because I think it's helping me, and I'm sure it's helping some other people as well. Is just to think, yeah, just take a little bit of time to set out what is it that you want to accomplish at the beginning of the week. Look at the week ahead, whether you have a day job or you don't have a day job, but just thinking what are those things and include. And it doesn't, as you said, it doesn't have to be these super spiritual things like
yeah,
no, what are some of the basic needs of life as well
yeah,
that you want to get done, and even So the things that can be on there can be, yeah, these are some people that I want to try to connect with, or I want to make sure that I'm connecting with
Yeah.
people this week. I want to make sure that I am, some of these household chores need to be accomplished, or I want to get to. And then if you want to put some spiritual things on there, you can put some spiritual things on there as well, but be gentle with yourself so you're not
Yes.
setting the bar so high that you feel like a failure if you don't accomplish it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
don't and look at what works for you and what should be on your to-do list, and not
Mm-hmm.
just what is on somebody else's to-do list, because
Yes.
we all know those super overachieving people,
Yes.
and when we compare our lives to theirs, it feels like, man,
I don't do
why
nothing.
am I still on earth?
Yeah.
So don't compare yourself to, and I should say this, to the people that you think are super achieving and are
Yes.
overachieving.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the way people present themselves on the outside, it might not be that might not be the person that you actually want to follow pattern your life after.
Yes.
I've seen that a few times where, and so I'll say this and let me put it in context. I am very happily married. My husband loves me to life. He's such a caring, nurturing person. I couldn't imagine being with anyone else. But no one is perfect, and I think, wow, okay, I see that relationship over there, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like they got it all going together. They're going on these trips together, and my husband is content to staying at home, right? Content to staying at home. You want to go, Michelle? Go ahead and go. That's fine. But you just sometimes you see some other couples and they're going on trips, and it's like, wow, that would kind of be nice. And
Yeah.
then a couple of years later, they're getting divorced or something, and it's like, or you find out, oh no, they on the outside
Yeah.
they've got pretty pictures on of vacations on Facebook, but it was a verbally abusive situation. And I don't have that problem at all. The worst thing my
Right.
husband calls me is by my first name. The best thing, that's that's the worst thing he calls me.
Yeah. That's
Everything
true.
else,
That is
so
so
I know
true.
that he's like, okay, it's time to have a conversation because he has called me Michelle. Otherwise, it's gorgeous, hey beautiful, something like that, sweetheart. Yeah, if it's serious, then he calls me Michelle. That's the worst thing he ever calls me, right?
Wow.
So we can't just look at someone on the outside, like we said, and think that, wow, their life looks so much together, because we don't know what's going on in someone else's life. We don't
Yeah.
know what's going on behind closed doors. So if you see that person who looks like, man, they're making a 7-course home cooked meal every day, from scratch,
Yeah.
they
Uh,
they might not be happy.
this
so if
is
you
so
are
true.
so if you are happier
Oh my
just
goodness.
cooking one meal a day, and 3 days a week is fast food, and then the other day is leftovers,
Yeah.
more more power to you. It's not a contest. It's not a contest. And we I think they call it, what, Pinterest envy or something like that. That's what,
Oh
watching
wow.
Facebook envy,
Yeah.
right? You're looking at this beautiful life, but hardly anyone is posting the worst of their life or their
Yeah.
struggles, right? They're posting, look at this. I feel like I'm looking really good today, so I'm going to post this picture.
Yeah.
Not too many people post, I feel like a mess today. So
Let me
let
see
me
you when you first get up.
yeah, let me show you with, without the
Yeah.
lipstick, with my
Yeah.
stuff not matching. Let me show you the full picture, right? Because right now it's from the from the waist up. It
Yeah.
looks really nice. Let me show you the flip flops that I have on,
That's
and the,
so
and the
true.
sweatpants that should have been thrown away years ago.
You still got them. No.
I still got them. I got them on
Yeah.
because nobody can see them from the waist up.
Right. And I had a friend, I mean, when I was working, and I was just so, I admired her marriage so much because her husband bought her a new car every year. I mean, she had a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful home. She dressed to the T. I'm like, wow. I was just admiring. I had just crazy about him. 'Cause I thought he's so
Yeah.
good to her. So then when they were getting the divorce, I found out and one of the things that she told me, because she called me Peaches. She said, Peaches, don't look at the outside. She said many times I was sitting at home reading books and he was out there going with other women, not just being
Oh.
with them, but taking them on vacation and I
Oh.
mean, everything. He spent money on these women and he spent money on her. She said, you
Mm.
can't just look at that. She said, it wasn't that he treated me wrong as far as beating me. She said, but he was not mentally, emotionally doing me right. And she said, I'm sitting at home reading books and being content, and he's out there doing what he was doing. Because I was very surprised when they was going to get a divorce, and she told me, she said, it looked good on the outside. She said, but
Yeah.
it was not good.
Yeah.
So you're right when you're saying that. You can't look at Facebook, and there are people that I'm like, wow, they are going places all the time. They're doing things, and then you show them what their husband gave them, like, wow, and like, okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
good. But like you say,
Mm-hmm.
everything's not shown on Facebook.
Right.
Everything's not
And
shown there.
and for the people who are listening or watching, and if you're one of those people who are posting the things, I celebrate you. I am excited that you get to go on trips. I'm excited that you have beautiful things. So this is not throwing shade in
No.
any way at that. I celebrate that. I'm just saying that sometimes when I have like looked, it's like, oh, that would be so nice. Celebrating you, but also saying that would be so nice because I would love to go on some trips with my husband somewhere, and it's not and because I go on trips all the time, but
I was gonna say you do.
that's because my husband doesn't want to go. But I think, wow, it would be nice to go on a trip with my husband sometimes. So that's the only thing that saying is that yes, everything that glitters isn't gold. If your glitter is gold, we celebrate you.
Celebrate
Keep
you.
doing it
Yes.
because
Yes.
that's something that inspires me. When I see a happily married couple, that inspires me because too often um, you just run into people and you have a side conversation with them and it's like, I don't know if I want to be married anymore. And it's like, or just wait until the kids are grown or just this. And,
Yeah.
and that can, and honestly, when I had those kind of conversations, it makes me look at Daryl can. My husband's name is Daryl. Daryl can always tell when I've had that kind of conversation with
Really.
somebody because I'm back home and said, "Babe, are we okay?" And we often ask each other, "Are we okay?" It's like,
Hmm.
no, really, are we okay? Is there something I need to know? Is there something that I am I just thinking everything is wonderful and well because if
Right.
it's not, I don't want something to get so far down the road that he's resentful and I don't know it, and he
Hmm.
doesn't want me to be resentful and he doesn't know it. So I think just trying to um, we just have to find those spaces where we can celebrate people and the good things that are happening to them and everything that is
Hmm.
going well in their lives and not put ourselves in a position where we're comparing our lives to theirs and
Yeah.
not saying, oh, I wish my life was like that because we don't know everything that is going on.
Right. And with the husbands, they're doing all these things. I'm admiring them
Oh,
because as a
yeah.
woman, I feel that women should have things.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're saying their husband's doing these things and buying these gifts, I'm like, kudos to the man. Because
Yes.
he at least is doing the right thing. So I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. My problem with my husband is besides he doesn't take trips with me, which is not a bad thing because he's sending me off, is that he loves to cook the things that I like to eat. So he might not.
Whoa.
So I will not be posting pictures of diamonds that he is buying me, but I do post pictures of food that he is making me.
Oh my goodness. And he
Um,
knows.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he knows. I know they say the way to a man's heart is through food, but the way to this woman's heart
Woman's heart. Yeah.
is through food,
We like to eat
especially.
too.
Yeah, we like to eat too. Oh,
Yeah.
and I don't have to cook it or clean after it. Yeah, it's even better then. Even better.
All right.
Oh, wow. So we talked about those things that, inspire you or help you to feel your best self. I wonder if you could tell us, since we are talking, since this is the Refill with Preach Sister show, how do you know when you need a refill? What does that look like for you? How do you know that, oh, my energy is a little bit dragging and something needs to change?
When little things upset me.
Okay.
It's like, oh wait a minute, what's going on? Because it'll be something that is a small thing, and I'm like, I just went to pieces when that happened, or when I heard
Mm-hmm.
that, I went to pieces. So what's happening with me? So yeah, that's when I can usually tell because it's like I'm not thinking properly or analyzing anything. I'm just like totally went into mad feel, and I can
Okay.
tell then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what do you do when you
Well,
say, "Oh, this has happened." So how do you get yourself back on track?
okay, I don't do this is a disclaimer. I do not do something spiritual. Put it
Okay.
out there. Because most time you'll hear a person say, in order to refill, I get into the word, I get into the presence of the Lord and all that. Okay, I don't do that. This is what I do. I actually take time to take off the hats. I'm not
Okay.
the pastor. I'm not the wife. I'm not the mother, grandmother, great grandmother. In fact, I'm not even Helen. I'm Peaches, plain and simple.
Okay.
And so, what I do as Peaches is take time to go shopping. Not a lot of money, anything like that, not really buy anything particular. I go to the mall and I start off at Penny's. I go into Penny's and look around, feel things, Of course, now, of course, you can't try anything on, but I go in there and feel things, And then someone will come over and say, "May I help you?" "Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just looking." And I go to Penny's and then I go to Bath and Body. I go in there and they're walking around trying to tell me what smell. You can't really sample anything, but they'll tell me about what something is, and I'm listening, full attention. Then I go to Office Depot. Then I go to Office Depot and buy something in there, and then my last place is Target. Now that may seem like a boring thing. Okay, you go shopping, but I'm not doing anything. My phone is off. I'm not receiving any phone calls, any texts. I'm just enjoying being Peaches. And there's sometimes I have to back away from everything and just say, okay, this is for me. This is for me. And this is what I do. And once I do that, I've calmed down on whatever is going on. I'm not thinking about, well, I got to go here, I got to go there, I got to get this for so and so. None of that. It's just all about me. I take that time to take off the hats. And I give myself permission to take off the hats. Because I believe sometimes women, we think that we should be always, because we're nurturing, we should be taking care of something. But I give myself permission to not do, to not worry about anybody else, to not be concerned. One of the things that I pray is, Lord, if there is an issue that I need to take care of, let me know. Because I don't want to just, drop everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I need to just not have to be on guard for anybody else or anything else, my husband or anybody else. And there are times when I've gone, Michelle, and I've done my shopping. I actually go get myself, myself something to eat that I like and not necessarily something that he wanted. That's his heart. That goes in there, but just, there's something that I want, because at that moment it's just about Peaches. Like I say, I'm not even Helen. I am just Peaches, just plain and simple. And when I go, I'm just enjoying myself. Another thing that I do is get a pedicure. I go in there, and if there's someone in front of me, that's no problem. She said, "You may have to wait 20 minutes." Oh, that's no problem. I sit there, watch CNN, look around, and then I get in the chair and get my feet pampered. And on that day that I get the pedicure, I don't do anything else. I don't schedule anything else because I want my mind to just be clear, sit there, get my pedicure, go home, and that's it. That's for me is a refilling because I need to sometimes just not be, and I give myself permission to just not be.
That there is so much wisdom in what you have just shared. Giving ourselves permission to just be. And I like that you make a distinction between being Helen and being Peaches. And that when you go shopping and what you're illustrating, it doesn't have to be some big dramatic thing. It could be, I'm just going to go to the local mall. I'm going to have my phone off and I'm just going to look in the stores that I want to look in. Don't have to buy anything, or maybe you just buy something that's small and then maybe take yourself out to lunch to get what you want to eat. But that doesn't have, it doesn't have to be anything big or dramatic. Sometimes when I so appreciate you saying that sometimes we just need to take off all the hats
Yeah,
and give ourselves permission to take off all the hats.
yeah,
Because I think sometimes if we don't take off some of the hats, sometimes we'll find ourselves in a situation where we just throw all the hats off.
yeah,
throw,
yeah,
throw off all the hats, pour on the gasoline, and throw on a match.
yeah, yeah. You can get to that point though.
It can
Yeah.
get to that point. Well, I want to say thank you. We've come, believe it or not, we've come to the uh, end of our time together. It
Okay,
went by
it's been
fast.
good. Yeah.
It went by really fast. But I want to thank you so much for being here. You have shared a lot of wisdom in terms of how to um, really give ourselves permission to take care of ourselves. So I just want to say thank you for being our guest today, and for everyone who is, if someone wanted to get in touch with you just to follow up in some conversation, what would be a good way to do that?
Probably by text. They could
Okay,
text me, yeah.
by
'Cause,
text, and then probably you have a Facebook page as well.
oh yes, well we have. I have a. I'm on Facebook also. Under I
Okay.
think it's under Helen Campbell Saleem. Yeah, I don't know how I got on there two different ways, but yeah, you'll find me
Okay.
on there. Yeah,
Okay. So look her up
it'll be
on
fine.
Facebook if you'd like to follow up. So I'm going to now take us out of the show, but I just want to say thank you so much for being
Thank you so
with
much
us.
for having me. I appreciate it.
This was fun. This was as much fun as I thought it was going to be. So thank you so much. And just before we head out, I just want to make sure that I remind people that the Preach Sista Fresh Anointing Conference is going to be coming up. This year, it will be virtual again due to COVID, but it will be June 5 through the 8th. June 5th is a Saturday, which means that we are going to have an extended Refill with Preach Sister show. And then that evening, we will have a panel to talk about just looking back at last year, just really looking at what are the lessons that we have learned from this past year. And then on that Sunday evening, Monday evening, and Tuesday evening, we will have a guest speaker. Helen is going to be one of our speakers, so we are super excited about that. Our theme for the conference is What Are You Looking At? And you can see a picture of our conference t-shirt. And if you are interested in that, go to our website. And I think maybe this week I'll also post it on our Facebook page, ways that you can purchase this t-shirt. You'll need to purchase it early so that I can get it printed and I can get it shipped out to you in time for the conference. And then before we head out, let's get to the next slide. Yeah, just a reminder of all the things that actually are going on. So, ways that you can get in touch with us, always on our website. Also, we're on Instagram, on Official Preach Sister. We're on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. That's where you can find all the past episodes of our Refill with Preach Sister show is on YouTube. Every first and third Friday of the month, we have the Women of the Word Bible study. Right now, we are looking at Rachel. And then the Sister Connections newsletter, this is what I can promise. It's going to come out once a week. What day of the week is going to be up in the air? We started thinking, okay, it's going to be, first it was Saturday, then it was Wednesday. Right now it's coming out on Tuesday nights. But it will come out, and that's a good way to stay connected. You can find past issues on our Facebook page as well. But want to say thank you so much for joining us. Check us out on our various platforms. And until next time, we're inviting you to keep the faith and to care for your souls. This is Michelle Lloyd Page, and this has been Refill with Preach Sista.